Uh, do you enjoy the gossip though that goes on here?
Well, that's
Like
just.
to a point.
I'll be honest with you. It all becomes background noise sometimes. You know what I mean? It makes your day go by when you talk about things and you laugh and you joke. But you have days where people come in here and they get in an argument about politics, and I gotta separate people. Hey, enough. You have your opinion, he has his opinion. All right, that's enough. Talk about the Redmond game last night or something.
Yeah, but
They got this running back.
Yeah. See, I'm out of town.
They're not the balls.
Not anymore.
They got this running back.
Well, my dad came here in 1957. They moved out in this area, and he had worked at a lot of different barbershops in his life, and they moved out here and opened this place in October of 1957. Fred and him worked together down on Charlevoix, down in Detroit, at a place called Bernie's Barbershop, and we still have, a large part of our business is still from that area down in Detroit, where my dad grew up. As far back as I can remember, I always said I wanted to be a barber because I used to love to come in here and watch my dad work, and the people would come in here, and it was great to me that he knew everybody in the community and everybody knew him, and he was so well respected in the community that it was really neat. I would come in here and watch him, and it's just like everybody in the community was his friend, and I thought that was so great. The money thing never meant a lot to me. That was great.
Oh, shoot. I've been coming here since probably around, I would say about 77, 78, when I moved into the Shores. And when I first came here, I remember young John when he was in diapers damn near. So anyways, yeah. And then Fred is ace over there. I remember Fred. Right, Fred? Coming here for over 30 years now.
Me and John's father, Mr. Guy, we used to work together in 1949 in Detroit. And then I remained working in that place for 28 years. Then the neighbors started to change, so people started moving out. And I started looking on the paper, and I found Guy's Barbershop, and I've been over here ever since 1976.
Fred, he's something else. When I first started here, my dad opened up at 9 o'clock. I was always a person who liked to get there a little bit early, get the coffee made, read the paper a little bit. Well, Fred always liked to be first, so he would come, and I started to get here about 8:30. Fred would get here 8:15. So I said, well, okay. So I started to get here about 8 o'clock, Well, Fred got here 8:45. So I got here about 7:30. Fred started getting here. Next thing I know, I'm here 12 hours a day, and he loves to work. He's a heck of a worker. There's no such thing as a 9-to-5 job for Fred. He loves to work, and as long as you'll let him be here, he'll be here. So he's been here 32 years now, and yeah, he's like part of the family. He's like a second dad to me. And Becky in the third chair, I hired Becky about 8 or 9 years ago, and she's great. She's a St. Clair Shores person. She lives right here. And Sharon was hired before I even worked here. My dad hired Sharon a year before I started. So Sharon's been here 25 years or so, 24 years, something like that. And Mary, her family is right here, went to Lake Shore, the Soba family. I hired Mary about, I'd say it's probably 18 or 19 years ago. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she's been here a long time too. And they're all great. They're all barbers. They've got great clienteles. And we even have some people who were born and raised here in St. Clair Shores now live in Troy or even further out, and they still come back. They come back for a haircut. They drive all the way over here. And, and you can't, chalk that up to anything but loyalty.
St. Clair Shores is made up with a lot of family-owned companies and businesses and stuff like that. It's nice that we don't have all these corporate companies, and it's nice to cater to the small family businesses here in St. Clair Shores. So it's always enjoyable, and they've been here such a long time, so they must be doing something right.
Right now, everyone's tense. In a moment, someone's going to be heartbroken and someone's going to be higher than the top of the world. That's basketball. There's been some great finishes in tournament history. We may have one right here. Here we go. Lakeshore's going to get it to Travis Conlon. Little late footer, and he gets it to go with 1 second to go, and East Grand Rapids calls timeout. Remember that one for a long time. It rolled around and rolled around, and it's stolen away, and that's the game. It was batted away by Jeff Patu, and St. Clair Shores Lakeshore has won its first ever state championship. St. Clair Shores Lakeshore comes from behind with a basket in the final 2 seconds by All-Stater Travis Conlon, and they win it 38-37 over a heartbroken but game East Grand Rapids team, which was a huge underdog not only today but in this tournament, and nearly pulled off a tremendous victory. 38-37 as the Shoreans celebrate a 28-0 season with a comeback win here today.
Yeah, that night, well, actually it started in '93. The kids started getting their haircuts here, and then everyone ended up getting it. And then when we won the state championship in '94, John was good enough to give everybody a free haircut. So that's probably the last nice thing he's done.
That was a lot of fun those years, though.
Yeah, it was
a great group of kids.
And I thought a lot of the kids still come here. They live in the community, and I know the coaches come here. But one thing for sure, the coaches got a heck of a lot less hair than they did in '94.
To show our support, when they were going for the state championship, they all kind of wore the same uniform haircut, like a high and tight haircut. And they became to be known as the basketball team with that haircut. I would be sitting in the stands watching the basketball games, and I would hear the parents say, "All those kids got the same haircuts. Look at that." But yeah, it was a lot of fun though. That was a great group of kids, and they still are. They've all done very well. A lot of them still come in. Some of them have moved away, but when they come back to town, they stop in, say hello. It's nice. Well, one night it was a holiday weekend, and I got a phone call. We were up at Harson's Island. I got a phone call from the police department that they had an accident and someone had run through the front of the building with the car. They were actually chasing them. It was a stolen car, and they were chasing him, and they ran him off the road, and he ended up running through the front of the building. Unfortunately, it was about 3 months after I put all new windows in, of course. But yeah, and it was one of our customers, was one of the police officers that was chasing him. So yeah, we had a lot of laughs with that.
If you could say anything to even potential customers or customers that have been here for 20, 30 years or whatever,
Well,
what do you think you just say to them?
Well, you would give them a big thanks, because without them, we'd have nothing. And they've supported not just my family, but all the Barber's families. It's 51 years. It's we've went through a lot of Barbers here. Barbers have come and gone, and they've the community supported us for all these years, and it's really remarkable to have a little family business like this be able to last this long, because our society today isn't built for businesses like this. It's always been a family-run business, and it still is now. We have a customer that he lives down in Grosse Pointe, and he's a businessman, and he travels all over the world. And he comes in here and he brings his friends in a lot, and they come in, they get shaves, and he and his friends were over in Europe somewhere, wherever they were, and they decided to go to this barber, who is this world, renowned barber, to this prince of an island of some sort. I can't recall what he is, but he's obviously a very, very wealthy, one of the richest men in the world. And there's a barber there that he's his barber, and he won't allow anyone else to cut his hair but this man. And they all went and got shaves from this barber, and when they walked out, his friends looked at him and said, "Doesn't compare to Guy's Barbershop."